Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dwellers podcast. My latest review for Batman month is the Grant Morrison graphic novel Batman and Robin, Batman Reborn, which has art by Frank Wiley and Philip Tan. This collects 6 issues. It goes for when this came out, it went for 15 US, 17 Canadian. I think this came out in 2009. This book takes place after the events of Final Crisis, where Batman, if people don't know, spoiler alert for Final Crisis, Batman was killed by Darkseid. Well, not really. He was sent back in time, but and there's even a Batman book, graphic novel where they talk about that. But for everybody else thinks he's dead. So what happens is Dick Grayson, who was Nightwing, becomes Batman, and Damian Wayne, the son of Bruce Wayne, and Talia al Ghul becomes Robin, right? And they have a strenuous relationship. So this book comes with six issues, and with 2 stories, right? Look at that art by Frank Wiley. You got Batman Reborn, which is a 3-issue series, and Revenge of the Red Hood. So, look at that cover, by the way. That's not Frank Wiley, though. So, in this book, they feature Batman and Robin's going against the Professor Pig and Mr. Toad, right? Who was introduced in Batman 666, which was written by Grant Morrison. So, they have a new Batmobile in this book where it's like a hovercraft, right? Yeah, so they're fighting against Professor Pig and Mr. Toad. Dick Grayson is having trouble resuming the role of Batman after what happened to Bruce Wayne, right? While this is going on, they fight the circus of Strange, which is the henchman of Professor Pig, who's working with Russian human traffickers, who was creating this mind control drug and is using it on people and puts these weird masks on them. And he kidnaps this Russian girl named Sasha, who in the next story becomes the sidekick of Jason Todd's Red Hood, right? So this was a great story, and you have a lot of crazy stuff in this story, right? Which I love when Batman and Robin fight crazy villains, right? Lots of action in this book, lots of blood. I read this 2 days ago, so my memory on it's not so great. But yeah, I thought it was really good. You gotta love the Frank Wiley art. So yeah, and they even show off Jason Todd and his new costume. Right, so in the next story, also I forgot to say, Professor Pig was working with the cartels. Yeah, so what happens in this book, look at that cover, man. What happens in this book is that Red Hood and his new sidekick, Scarlet, which you can see her there, who still has the mask that Professor Pig put on her, stuck to her face, because people tried to remove the masks, and the face would come off, so she's afraid to take it off, right? So what happens, Red Hood, who's Jason Todd, and Scarlet are going around killing villains, right? They're going Punisher on people, and that also they introduced this guy who's a crime specialist slash a crime special reporter, writes stories and stuff. That's Oberon Sexton, which there's a reveal on who he is in the next story, which I hated, right? Yeah, so in this story, Batman and Robin's trying to stop Jason Todd, Red Hood, and Scarlet, but Jason Todd's going on a killer spree killing villains, and pisses off the cartels, and the cartels send an enforcer who kicks the shit out of uh, Jason Jason Todd and Scarlet, but like they end up getting saved by Batman. And this guy, this villain is named Flamingo, and he's crazy, right? Yeah, he's supposed to be like a parody of Zorro, right? And he was a very cool character, right? Lots of blood, lots of gore. Yeah, so I really love this book, and I totally recommend it. You got great art, great dialogue by Grant Morrison. Though I don't really like a lot of the British stuff he put in this book, right? Um, which that's the thing with Grant Morrison. He loves to put British stuff. He put a lot of British stuff in his run of Batman, which I'm not a once in a while is fine, but it's like every book I've read, he puts British, stuff. In the next book, he has like a British Batman and Robin called Knight and Squire, which I wasn't a fan of those two, but I would say I love the Frank Quitely art. Wish he did the first 6 issues, but he only did the first 3, which wasn't bad, was still good. And even Philip Tan's art was still cool, right? So I would say you got great art, great dialogue, great villains. Love when Batman fights crazy villains. And lots of action and gore. And that Flamingo character, which Robin calls him gay, by the way. Which I thought was like, damn, Damian, you can't say stuff like that nowadays. Damian Wayne was so cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed this book, and I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10. And I highly recommend it. The second book isn't as good, but I still enjoy it. So my next review is going to be, man, I think we only have like 2 more reviews to go. So I think we're just going to do like 2 or 3 more reviews to go. So I think we're just going to do Batman Ninja, and then we'll end it with the second volume, which is Batman and Batman versus Robin. And that will be it for Batman month, but I'll still review Justice League next week. Alright guys, that's it for this review.